before Fuse Camp, I was at school in North Carolina, and after I graduated, I had looked and tried to find jobs down in North Carolina, and I was just really, really in love with that state, and just felt like a part of my heart was there, and I really wanted to stay. And so before I came up here, every door just kept shutting, and I was just praying to the Lord, and I was like, Lord, I don't understand, like, I thought this is where I was supposed to be, and just couldn't really understand why doors kept shutting. And so I had finally accepted that I was going to be home for a while, and just felt like the Lord was saying, like, there's something more for you to see in Maryland, and that there was a part of His heart that He wanted to reveal while I was here. So finally stopped fighting Him about it, and started looking for different places to be back in Damascus, and kind of felt the Lord like put coffee shop on my mind, which was so random for me because I absolutely hated coffee. So I didn't understand like why of all people coffee shop. My friends had laughed at me because I was literally like the only person that they knew of that couldn't stand anything. So I was like, all right, like let's do this. And so I started working at the Starbucks in Damascus, a little tiny baby kiosk, and it was so funny because before that I had worked in a different church, and then when I started working with the public, it was just so funny how opinions and just there was no filters on anything. So the people I worked with just heard literally what they were thinking, and so there was one day these group of people came in to Starbucks, and my coworker was just like, oh, like that's those church people, and she just talked about how they were always like so nice, and it was just so funny because out of all the negative things I had heard from my coworkers before, like whenever they talk about this group of people, they just had different things to say about them, and I started paying attention, and I was like, Lord, like there's so much joy in this group of people, and it was different joy than what I had ever seen. I was like, man, like I want that joy, and then later found out that, oh my goodness, like the different people that I was like seeing this joy come out of were from this church, difference makers, and and it was funny because I had heard about this church a long time ago, like 2 years before, because my cousin had one defining moment for me was one morning service, and they were doing baptisms, and for whatever reason, like the Lord was kind of like putting it on my heart, like, hey, like pay attention to this, like I want to teach you something here, and it was just so beautiful because it was the morning that Walt Shiflett, the father of Patrick, was being baptized, and just what this whole community had been through the past year, and just to see how this tragedy was heartbreaking, but it wasn't hopeless, just blew me away. And just seeing the two fathers of those two boys just start this new and fresh start with the Lord, that was just so beautiful, and just evidence that like the Lord totally can change everything, and just in the middle of heartbreak bring hope and new life, and it was just like mind-boggling to me to see that, and I was just like so moved by seeing them both go up there, and just as they came up out of the water, it was real. It was the Lord had just brought two new people out of the water, and I was just like, Lord, like this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, and so I was just praying about it, and Lord kind of put in my heart, like, I want that for you too. And so it was the end of the service, because we had gone to both services that day. Don't even know why, I guess it was for this moment. And so Pastor Clark had moved on with the service, and I was like, okay, like, I guess that's not like the time for me to do this, and that's totally okay. Just to witness that was like beautiful. And the next service, he like still had the horse trough out there, which is so funny that it was a horse trough, but never thought I'd be sitting in one of those. But he like announced he was going to do baptisms again, and I was just like, okay, Lord, like, if this is what you want me to do, then like just really show me right now. And he brought the verses Romans 7 to mind, and I'd always gotten frustrated with that passage, because it was like, I do what I don't want to do, and I keep doing things that I know I don't want to do, and I just felt like that was like the struggle of my life a lot of times, like just with anxiety stuff and depression stuff. And it was like, I knew the Lord was with me, I loved the Lord, and I knew that He was in the details of getting me through each of those like battles of like the anxiety and depression. But like, I thought that struggle was just like something that stayed there, and that He would give me strength after each one, and I could get through it with Him. But I didn't realize that was something that just like would no longer be mine. And so when I remember like there was this conference, someone was talking about how Romans 6, like just the beauty of like knowing like co-crucified, like all those things were like dead, and that like I was being resurrected, like that new life, like those things weren't there anymore. And so like even if they had been brought up, like their power over me wasn't there anymore. And so I knew it was something I didn't have to be held to anymore. And that was just like such a freeing moment. And so I was like, I don't want to like live another moment like live another second without living in the fullness that like I've been promised, and like the victory that the Lord had won for me, like without living in the fullness of that, I didn't want another second of it. And so Pastor Clark was like about to move on, and I just kind of was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to interrupt service, but I just really feel like I need to do this, and just raised my hand. And from that moment on, like I just realized that like those fights aren't mine anymore. They've already been won, and it's been so freeing to know that. And I don't know, there's just always this phrase of like being like under attack by them, like under attack of anxiety. But like now it seems like it was like I was over that attack. Like it was like there wasn't like darkness, like that He had made me light, and that like one of them was lightning, that like my words were like lightning, and one was that just had to do with like the sun. And then my cousin, who was the one who had introduced me to Fuse in the first place, she had saw like a yellow rose, and so anyways, that was like my middle name, and it was just like all of these things like tied together, and it was like there was this new identity found in Him. So now I know that the name Melanie Rose means light now, and that there's just this new start and this new journey of just like adventuring with the Lord, and like learning just this whole other side of His heart for me. And just like, I mean, just in a few couple months, like I just feel like He's like turning my whole world upside down, and just is so detailed and just revealing that to me. So for you guys, know that if you're sitting here right now, it's not by coincidence. The Lord delights in the details, and just has made it so clear that you're supposed to be in where you're sitting right now, and that what you're seeing and the joy and just these new lights of who He is, that that is for you, and it's His love is for you, and that changes everything. So I'm just excited for you all to get to see that. My name is Melanie Rose, and this is my story.